Master, dinner is served. Igor, it's not that I don't appreciate the effort, but you know I prefer my meals uncooked. And how many times have I told you about using garlic? Yes, Master. Forgive me, Master. Please. Bite into Paradelphia. Thursday nights at 8, only on Toxic Radio. Paradelphia. Because what if it's all true?
While you're rocking with us at Toxic Radio, don't forget to check us out on social media.
I want details, and I want them right now.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Now you're talking, brother.
Chat with us, keep up on news. Just don't make it weird. Don't be a stalker. Don't be that guy.
You just want to suck the joy out of everything.
Toxic Radio. Get infected. Planning your Saturday night can be a bit of a bitch. How about we make rock, not war? Load up Toxic Radio every Saturday night for the heavy metal happy hour with the one and only Fishman.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
There will be interviews, ticket giveaways, a little bit of banter with Toxic Mike, and of course great metal from the 80s all the way through today. Starts at 7 p.m., runs until Fish says it's over.
Get out.
Catch it only on Toxic Radio. Don't play it safe. Play it toxic.
What's up, everyone? It's the Godfrey, the TH, the double E, GODFREY, and we have tons to talk about today. Today has been one hell of a fucking week for me. I don't know about you, but let's hope we can make you laugh and think at the same time. The magic is going to happen here at Toxic Radio. No, Mike won't be putting random shit into his mouth, but that will happen more often than not. And he will do that when he has to do it for the show. But he promised you guys bugs that were disgusting that he would eat. So break his chops about that. That's for sure. But we got a lot to talk about. White Castle. We got radio playing in the background. What amateur did that? So, yeah, it's about time, he said. Yeah, it started on time. Guys, did we start on time this time? We didn't really start late, did we? You forced me to start on time, but...
That's right. You got up, you walked around, and we said, sit your ass down.
Yeah. Well, I had to do something. I could have did it. I don't know if I could do it on air. But anyway. All right, guys. So, White Castle is putting a limit on how many burgers you can order, and they're restricting your freedom. Is that fucked up, or is that not fucked up?
I'm sorry, but if I want 30 burgers, I want 30 burgers.
Well, they're putting an order on 60 sliders, a weight order on it. Because White Castle is opening a Disney World White Castle. So they're going to restrict their guests from ordering 60-plus sliders. So apparently some of you Scoostamods and fat bastards out there, even though you're paying for it, want to order 60-plus sliders, because why else would they need to do that? So if you're a fan of Disney World, the Harold and Kumar film franchise, or White Castle's famous hamburger sliders, we have exciting news for you. The White Castle location near Disney World has officially announced an opening date of May 3rd, and the theme park guests are only minutes away. Does this make you want to go to White Castle? I mean, Disney World, Mike?
Absolutely.
Just for the White Castle?
I will go anywhere for the White Castle. I mean, I'm still waiting for our case race.
Oh, yeah, well, Alex is going to pick that up and come in on the show one day. I think he's
is that the plan? That's the
yeah, because
he
would have to pass here from where around he lives to get there. They're in North Jersey and Tom's River. Have you ever actually made a trip out there?
I have. Yeah, I went to Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash.
Wait, but that's
past.
But so you went there and you went to
right. So I went to Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. On the way back, stopped at White Castle.
Okay, not bad.
Mm-hmm.
And you, did you get the crave case?
No, we just got regular stuff.
Where did you get weak?
Where did I get what?
Where'd you get weak?
What do you mean weak?
Why'd you just get regular
Because we
stuff?
just went to go stop and get stuff. It wasn't like get a crave case and hate yourself in the morning.
Hate yourself. So you're admitting that eating that much White Castle might not be good for the digestive system.
No. I would not in any way, shape, or form eat that much White Castle just by myself for just me. That is not going to happen.
60 sliders?
I would eat it for a contest. I would eat it for the show.
So the crave race. So let me ask you a question. You're going to be cycling off keto that week, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously.
There will be no cheating. You will not be removing buns and cheating.
I do not think anything about any of that is keto in the slightest bit. So you do what you got to do.
Yeah, well, listen, so 60 plus, and that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
How many are in the crave case? Is it 30? Right?
Yeah.
So that's 2 crave cases. So I guess people are going up like, yeah, let's get 2 crave cases. You know why they're probably doing that? It's probably because it probably costs $9 for a Mountain Dew in Disney World. And so they probably upped the price of the White Castles too, but it's still cheaper than the Disney World food prices.
Right.
Because they want you to believe that the theme park can't run properly and profitable without jacking the food prices up there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that I think that's called hostage retail. Hostage retail.
Hostage retail was the same thing at the football stadium in Philly with Lorenzo's Pizza.
Oh yeah, and you know what I do? I go by to Lorenzo. First of all, Lorenzo's isn't good unless you're drunk.
Oh, if you're drunk, it's the best thing in the friggin' world.
If you eat it when you're not drunk, you're like, wow, did they use SpaghettiOs sauce on the pizza here? And because that's what it tastes like. And when it's cold, it's real ash. Like I made the mistake of getting a pie of it one night, and I was like, yep. You know, you have to eat it fresh. It is only good coming out of the oven because it does not reheat well, and it's just not.
No.
I don't know. But yeah, so there's a ton of it's about 4,500 square foot White Castle, which is a pretty big White Castle.
That is huge.
And huge. Bernie Sanders. No, I'm going to point to the sky like Sammy Sosa. So, yeah, so it's going to be 4,567 square feet. It's the first White Castle that's been in Florida for 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
Its proximity to Disney World Parks and Resorts is a huge asset, I'll say. I wonder what the real estate costs for that. Because even though a late-night quick-serve burger from Disney World food courts could fill the hunger void, sometimes guests may want a patty that is a little tastier, and now that option will be a very short Uber ride or drive away.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Well, again, Great Adventure even. You go to Great Adventure. I haven't been to Great Adventure in years, but I got to imagine you're paying at least a $5 bill for like a large Coke, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, at least.
At least.
Actually, you're paying more.
Really? When's the last time you've been there?
I was just there a couple of years ago, and we paid just a little over $6 for a large. I'm like, you know what? I ain't doing this again.
I would wear the biggest set of cargo pants and sneak in food. Like, I'm talking like, sir, why do you have 10 pockets on your cargo pants shorts? I didn't think that was possible. Like, it can be all the way around. I mean, and if I worked on security, I'd be like, let me search it. There's Pepsi in there. Turn around. Turn around. Right. Get against the wall. You have goobers in your ass. I mean, I don't know. I sneak like snacks into the movie theater. I might get popcorn because I think it tastes a little bit better at the movie theater because of the butter. But I mean, I'm a fan of sneaking snacks into the movie theater.
Reese's
Absolutely.
Pieces.
And then they'll be like, well, they stay in business because you buy an overbox of Reese's Pieces. I'm like, that's the business model? That's what keeps them. No wonder they fucking went out of business. That's the business model. No, that's called Hollywood's charging too much for the films. Commercial real estate's charging too much rent. And therefore, they have to be like, we're going to pass it on to consumer. You want a Reese's Pieces? You have to take out a mortgage for it. We'll send your kid to college as well if you want that. But more importantly, the Reese's Pieces. So it's also important to note that White Castle's burgers are smaller than many standard fast food hamburgers. So I guess 60 really is 30 regular because they are sliders. They're not hamburgers. So people don't often find themselves eating more than they might at other establishments. This likely played a role in the 60 slider restriction. Wait a second. So you're telling me people were like, it's smaller. Let me order 60. Like, if I went to a restaurant and I felt they were too small and I got 4 sliders and I was like, wow, those are really good. Let me get another 4, not another 60. I'm telling you, people are buying this food and taking it back to the hotel rooms. That's what's going on. I mean, do they? It doesn't say in here, but do you make a restriction like that unless it's a problem? You would assume that was a problem, right?
You would think they would be losing money with restrictions.
No, it's because I get it. If you run out of food, and then you have
That makes sense.
one fat bastard that wanted 120, and then you have 20, and they're probably going to be mobbed because of where they're at, and then you got 25 angry customers with hungry kids, some people are going to be helicopter pissed. It's true.
Better than helicopter dick.
Someone had to go there. And
Had
that would be
Mike.
Toxic Mike.
Had to be Mike.
Yep. 1 week he's talking about that. The other week he's got the world's hottest nuts in his mouth.
Speaking of that, real fast, if I can interject for a second, I did just place an order for some bugs.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
So we will have those next time whenever you want to do it.
What did
it'll
you
be
get?
done. So
Did you get the diarrhea moth?
what I have just ordered? Do you want to let people know right now?
Yeah, let's let them know.
All
This
right.
is what it has. You will get to see. Oh, the bug kebab.
The bug kebab, which includes, does it say dehydrated grasshopper, silkworms, herbs, and spices? So that'll be really good. Also, let me see if I can merge that for a second so I don't show something I don't want to show. Also,
Why are those pictures on the work computer?
also salt and lemon grasshoppers. It looks like a decent sized bag too. So I'm
Oh
very
man, those just look like
excited
there's
about
nothing
that.
on them. That looks like they're just bugs.
right.
That's fucking disgusting.
And just for good measure, the one that everybody always gets because it's the one that's most readily available, which is larva, barbecue, cheddar cheese, and Mexican spice larva is what I have got.
I don't
as
even
well.
need a sound effect for that because
So,
it makes me want to gag.
There are some other ones that are more expensive. I will hold off on getting those, but we got some larva as well.
That's pretty.
These will all be here by Wednesday.
Next
Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Mhm.
Oh, and I will be doing that show. Maybe we can make that the 40th birthday show, or we can make it the week after. I don't know. We'll see. My 40th is coming up. I revealed my age on air. It's been a big secret. Everybody swore Mike was older than me, but he is.
I am. I mean, everybody can swear it all up and down. It's true.
Yep.
But so I just want to let you know, I did order it. Like I said, I didn't go for the expensive stuff. I feel comfortable going through Amazon. Me and you had discussed that where I went to get these bugs was of great importance. So
nice. Where did you buy the bugs?
So I went through.
Hold on. Let's pitch them about a sponsorship next week.
Yes.
And then
we'll go to the actual store.
we have to bleep out their name.
The tarantula is it's scarce. It's very scarce right now. You can't get it a lot of places. So they've upped it to $30 for the tarantula. Which
Hold on.
again-
Pause for a second. Who am I? Kevin. You're a tarantula. What's that from?
I don't know.
Home Alone 1. Come on.
Sorry. It looks like a lot of these higher grade insects are kind of hard to get right now. Back order, or only a few left. So like the black scorpion is $20. It's going to be interesting, but we got what we could.
We got what we could. We were hoping for the tarantula dipped in diarrhea, flushed out of the toilet, caught on the edge of the curb. We got what we settled. We settled.
It was settling. I wanted I mean, if you're going to go and get the high class stuff, you want some quality, some high classness to your insects, to your edible insects. I mean, I would have gone for the queen weaver ants, but I mean, they're a little expensive at $12.95, so I decided not to go for them, but they do look tasty. No colors or preservatives, boiled and dehydrated, not fried, so they're good. They're healthy for you.
That's water bugs going down at you here right there. So, yeah.
So they will be here. I will have a handful. We're good to go.
Speaking of weird shit, well, maybe it's not weird. Saw an article. So we're going to make some things make you laugh and make you think. That's what we do on the show. That's why we take it deep here. If you want to hear that and other episodes, toxicradio.net, toxicradio.tv, is it?
.tv.
.tv. All
No,
right,
you
that's
throw
not
out
yet.
some weird shit. What are you talking about?
We're giving up future plans.
No. There's no future plan. So we have. Let me come in here now. Let me explain what the hell you just said. So what we have started with one of the shows, which is Rock Metal Radio, heard right here on Toxic Radio every other Saturday from 2:30 till 4:30, is we've started broadcasting them on Toxic TV as well, which is through our site. We haven't started with any of the other shows. If they request it, we can do it. The reason being is that they play music, and if for any reason we do get kicked off of Facebook, we get to do whatever the fuck we want on the website. So
that's true.
It's a backup
It can
for
get
us right now.
crazy.
It's a backup for us right now, and if the fans want it, if the fans say that they will tune in to a show strictly on toxicradio.net, then we will start broadcasting the shows there where we have a little bit more freedom.
Yeah, so THEEGODFREY, that's all my social media handles if you need to get a hold of me. Hit the podcast on Google Podcast, iTunes, etc. Google
Stitcher.
it, Taking It Deep, Stitcher, with the Godfrey. You can get all the podcasts of all the shows on Toxic Radio on the app Toxic Radio, iTunes, and Google Play. So, is he going to play Hunka Mata while you eat the bugs?
Oh my God, say that again. Try to pronounce that again.
No.
Do it, please.
Hakuna, blah, blah, blah.
Hakuna Matata.
Hakuna Matata.
Yeah.
What a wonderful phrase.
I've never watched it.
Hakuna
worries.
Matata
Yeah.
means no worry days. It's a problem free
Is that what? All right.
philosophy. Hakuna Matata.
That's all I have to say to that. So, yeah, so you can catch it all in there. But next story.
I want to play back you trying to pronounce Hakuna Matata now nonstop.
Well, you never do drops anymore. Do you edit and get a drop?
No, that's your job.
All right, I guess it's gone. So,
You went to broadcasting school.
I mean, I could do that, but I mean, there's just so much time in a day.
You went to the same school I went to with the same teachers.
Yeah, but you have a studio, and I have.
A microphone.
Yeah. So, and anyway, so New York Post had a thing called "Dad Who Yanked Child from Woke Manhattan School Says Others Are Doing the Same." Now, I don't really care about that article. I just find it very funny because the reason why you're in a $43,000 a year private school in Manhattan is because you are a little snobby. Or you're really rich, which is fine, but you don't think your kids should be going to public school, because for whatever reason, and you're I would $43,000 a year for public school, a year. Okay, you're that rich, good for you. Oh, he wants to get a better education, good for you. You put him in that woke school and you paid for it, so you, sir, are a jackass, in my opinion. Oh, a $43,000 a year school? I didn't ever think that would happen there. You know, come on. I mean, it's just people. It's funny. Like, you don't want to be around this subset of people. And when I talk about it, there's a lot of people that choose not to put their kids in public school, not because it's a safety issue or not because they don't like the curriculum. And this is the truth, because they don't want their kids going to school with certain types of people. That's why they do it. And it's the truth. I see it all the time where you actually have to pay higher taxes for a school and then you're paying for a private school. Not everybody that says their kids a private school is doing that. But I do know a lion's share of the individuals that do. They won't tell you, but they've told me. So you take my word for it. You can dispute it. If you want to call in and say I'm crazy for saying that, that's great. 856-485-9565. We need about 30 minutes to boot that up. But if you give me a heads up, we got enough time in the show where we'll get you in by 6:48. But or you could just participate in the chat room, and we can do that way. But if you guys do want to give a call in the future, what we're going to start doing here is, you know, do it like, hey, I want to call in ahead of the show. You could do that too. You could message me, or you could say in the beginning of the show, hey, I'm calling in, and we'll get it fired up. But truth be told, it doesn't take 40 minutes to fire.
We're going to give everybody a number, and you got to take that number. And if your number
it's going to
gets
be like
called,
a deli market.
if your number gets
Excuse
called,
me, number 9, number. Yeah, I want a half a pound of pimento loaf. Oh, cool. All right, cool. Be like the scene in Wrestler. You ever see that movie?
Yes, with Mickey Rourke.
Great movie.
It was an amazing movie. Very
Great movie.
realistic. Very. It depicted a wrestler past his prime in a great way. Not a great way, in a proper way.
Isn't that supposed to be
Wasn't very
like based off some guy named Ace Lane, or was there real? Or was there?
It was based off of multiple different
Okay.
wrestlers past their prime. But yeah.
I went to private school because my parents were religious, and let me tell you what a waste of money that was. Exactly. My brother went through the same thing. Credit to him. His now ex-wife, this isn't why, but, maybe this is why Bill and Melinda split up. But she wanted the kids to go to private school and high school, and he did 1 through 8, and that was a shit ton of money. He's like, why am I going to do that? And his school system his kids are in is phenomenal. It's one of the best rated ones around. I think they're rated high in the country. And, to me, I'm like, why? And they're not super religious. It's just like, let's go to Catholic school. I'm like, all right, do your thing.
You know what building this thing that it's been deemed toxic radio, toxic entertainment has done for me? It has made me realize that individuals like Gary Vee and other entrepreneurs out there, like what the fuck, SpaceX man, Jesus Christ, why can't I remember his name?
I mean, I just want to hear you struggle.
Why can't I say his name? Oh my God, this is fucking crazy.
It's Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon Musk.
Hakuna Matata, motherfucker.
Wait. You didn't show me Elon's name, and I went, Alone?
I could have helped you earlier, but you just let me hang out there to dry.
Is he a Moosh?
Yeah, Elon Musk.
No, but
Elon Moose?
These guys are 100% correct in saying that school is a scam. Now, of course,
wait,
regular school, I'm talking about college, but for the most part, once you get to a certain level of high school, it becomes a scam.
You just blew a top off a subject that really goes up my ass, actually. And there's like mad bugs in the toxic studio.
I'll come eat them.
I guess Mike's farming the fucking bugs instead of buying them. But I'm getting invaded by fucking ants over here. Anyway,
but literally, like almost everything I learned to do toxic, and I would have to say it's pretty successful so far. I taught myself by going on the internet, because anything that you have to actually want it. You have to actually be passionate about it enough to go and find the information that you need to learn. Whether you want to learn through audio, video, hands-on, it's all there. And the simple
But you're talking about college.
But the simple fact that people pay so much money, but also at the same token, regular school doesn't train you or teach you to be that go-getter to teach
that's
yourself.
True. That's true, but that's not entirely true. And this is where I'll debate you on that. I agree with you in general about your point, but I do think that at least grades K through 12 are vital to making someone be what I like to call a citizen. And what I mean by a citizen is they do what they're supposed to, they're productive, and they're not a drain on society. Now, it's not going to be perfect, but when I see areas, and you can point to this with data, where the education has been devalued in a sense where they've defunded it by not giving it enough money on purpose to drive the private school market in some sectors, then you see poverty rise and crime rise. Now, with college education, I could agree, because if we didn't, I could tell you right now, Elon Musk, if you didn't go to school, he's saying that. Gary Vee's a little bit different, but if you didn't go to school, like, he's not doing fucking rocket ships. So there are some things.
But the whole thing. But even if you go to school and if you get C's and D's and F's, that doesn't mean you're a failure. That doesn't mean
no, it doesn't. But
anything.
But why did they say it was a scam? Part of it was because of how much it costs to go to school.
Yeah, it really.
You're not getting value for your dollar.
I'm pulling in slight the regular high school time, because I believe that at age 16 or 17, by that time, I think you know enough to know what you want to go after. For the most part, there are kids that just are never going to know.
Mike knew he wanted to eat bugs on air.
But 100%.
Big dreamer.
The whole idea of college is ridiculous in every sense of the word. If you have the drive and the passion and
college has
you're shown the way, you don't need that.
College has its place. I don't want
What
someone.
is its place?
Do you want someone working on your mouth that hasn't gone to school to be a dentist? Do you want someone working on your body that hasn't gone to school to be a surgeon? You do need school for certain things. There's definite skills that you can learn at school. Where I think the joke is at college, and I've done some college. I don't know. Did you go to college at all? Did you do community college? I did some college. So here's the thing about college, and this is where they could save money, and they're going to just say I'm a jackass and know what I'm talking about. You don't need to give certain courses to have. You don't need American civilization, or Western civilization to have a degree in, engineering unless it's an elective. I think there's a lot of fluff courses in college. I hear people talk. I got 5 credits by taking study hall. What the fuck is that? Study hall? You're studying study hall?
I want to go back to something though. You said you don't want somebody working on your mouth or your organs or this or that hasn't gone to school. But I would like to say otherwise. If that person,
all right, I'm going to sign you up for the list. Mike wants someone not trained to work on face and body.
No, because I'm not going to say not trained. Didn't go to what we are calling a common or accepted idea of schooling. If
there's a medical board that has to approve you and a dental board that has to approve you. I believe.
But they can still. But take away the schooling, they could still approve it. If somebody has the passion and the drive and the
who's going to teach them?
And the will to learn exactly what is needed to thrive in that industry or what it takes to use today's technology, I guarantee you they look on the internet.
Yeah, but they're going to
find free information for every single thing. They're going to have virtual reality programs that they can buy, which are going to put them into those situations.
Yeah, I think. I'm sorry, for a physical skill, I think some colleges, and they used to do this in New Jersey. They did this a lot, where they had the vocational schools where they would teach you how to build and things of that nature. I think there has to be more onus on the trades. However,
yes, but you learn as much as you can to then get the entry level job, then get the on the job training.
Do you tip your professors? That's a question from one of the listeners.
Fuck no. Tipping is not mandatory.
That is the question of the week by Brad. Yep. You know what, Brad? Beautiful question. I like that.
I was just out over the weekend, went to lunch, and I did not tip. So
Laura tipped. I don't even want to hear this bullshit.
Laura did not tip.
Laura, you tipped.
No.
All right. So listen. Yeah. Laura says, who's doing the research on contradicting medications, cardiac issues? I agree 100%. You need training for some things. Passion alone can't carry you all the time. I'm going to give you an idea of passion right now, and you'll understand this. You know who passion, and it didn't carry him to the finish line, was Paul Heyman. ECW, yeah, admit it. Don't be a fanboy. He couldn't pay people, and Vince and whoever he had to sell to bailed his ass out, and he has the passion. He has the know-how. He's one of the most brilliant minds in the wrestling business, but he didn't have the execution to run ECW properly. They said Lance, what was his name? Lance Bass, or I forget whatever his name. No, that's Backstreet Boy, whatever. Some fucking wrestler with his name Lance in it. He said he was going to kill him because he was like, oh, the paycheck bounced, I'm out. So there's an example of someone with the passion but didn't have the know-how.
I don't think without colleges there's no scientists. I don't think that.
That's crazy.
I think that the internet.
There's
a lot of misinformation, but there's also a shit ton of information on every single subject known to man. You do have to do some research. You have to find the proper information out there, but you can learn anything and everything from that.
I propose a 10-year experiment.
Go back to ECW. You have to go watch the rise and fall of ECW.
I've seen it like 5 times.
If you listen to Paul Heyman's excuse as to what happened, it was that they grew too big. And at the time, they were so big, but weren't big enough for this. But they were big enough for it was right. The growth.
But
of
Paul
the brand.
Heyman also is what? He's a salesman. So that's his side of things. When you hear wrestlers talk, they say bullshit. And some of his biggest wrestlers said that they love him, but you just love Paul Heyman. Secretly, I think you have a naked photo of him on your screen over there.
I do not disagree with college-educated people put that information out. Absolutely, they learned it somewhere because they had the passion. They went somewhere to learn it. They put that out there, but that's what this is all about.
I think you've been affected by the CSB format.
People are educated, people who have gone through this, have gone through the trenches, that know what they're talking about, who have experienced all this, are ready and willing, because what they become on the internet nowadays is they become influencers. They become top people in their industry on the internet to give away all this information.
We're going to talk about that another week. Influencers, by the way. If you're talking about Gary Vee, yeah, he's an influencer. But I got to say this right now. There's a lot of people out there that want to become influencers, and there's a new industry developing that is the pyramid scheme of becoming an influencer.
Oh, yeah, they're 100%.
Yeah, so
I see it all the time.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing about that, Mike. I'm surprised you're saying this, because we talk about this on the podcast end. There's plenty of people out there that want to do the podcast. There's plenty of people that see a studio like Toxic and they want to make a studio like it, but they don't have the know-how. They don't have the training. Now, CSB. Not even about. Hold on. But let me finish. CSB. Shut the fuck up. That's what Mike says when he's trying to prove a point. Mike's like, shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up now. So listen. Here's the thing. Me and Mike both went to a school called CSB, and with that way that school's set up, you're not going to succeed by just going there. You have to go there and have the passion for it, because they're going to give you a little bit of tools. They're going to show you what direction you might go in. Mike, could he have done this without? You could have done this without CSB, probably, but it helped you make connections, though, as well, that you might have not ever made if you went to CSB. I don't know if I would have met you, right?
I've said that 1,000,001 times, that CSB, the money I paid there was more for connections than anything else. They did not teach me.
You never met
They
Fish?
did not teach me anything that I did not know. That's one thing.
You and Fish would have met up in an alleyway
Second
somewhere.
thing, the fact of people coming here because they don't have the know-how. There are individuals out there that have the passion and urge and want to be podcast or radio hosts, but they don't have the passion or urge or want to learn how to run that board.
They're not hungry. They're not hungry for hope.
How to run
every Wednesday 7 o'clock.
How to run the computers. Connections. I hate you, Brad. But they have that passion. That's what I love about Toxic Radio and Toxic Entertainment, is that individuals that normally would not have a voice in podcasting and radio, in any kind of entertainment medium, because they don't have the passion and the patience to learn how to run all of this equipment, or know what to buy, or have the passions to learn, we give them a shortcut. We say, okay, you don't have the passion, you don't want to know all this stuff, you don't want to learn how to do this because that's not where your passion is at, but you have a voice and you have something you want to talk about, you just need to get it out there. That's the service that we're able to provide for them. Now, anybody who has the urge and the want and the need to learn all of this stuff can 100% do it online for free. That's it, for free. Anytime they want.
Sometimes college will help you discover a passion. It will help you meet people. It will help you network. It will help you discover who you are.
So will the internet and just going
No,
out there.
That's not true. You are being a weird introvert. Some people get inspired by other people being around them. So
then go to the bar. Go to a club.
Oh, yeah.
Go to a networking
Let me go
event.
to the VFW. That's the same as going to Harvard.
Don't go to college. Fuck college.
Yeah. I'm 50-50 on college. It's definitely needed. Like, you know, if a guy's a doctor and I'm going to see him on the street, be like, hey, man, how'd you lose both your legs? Oh, I operated on myself. I got gangrene. I'm a W amputee now. Where'd you go to college, Kmart? Oh, I mean, where'd you go? You didn't go to college. You worked at Kmart. Okay, I understand. So, I mean, that's a skill. I mean, being a doctor is a skill. And you didn't have someone teach you that knows about it. I would not want someone working on me that wasn't from an accredited university.
You can't tell me that there's any skill out there that you cannot learn on the internet.
You can't learn to be a doctor only on the
can.
internet. No,
100%.
you can't. You have to do a residency.
You get a VR headset. You get a gaming system. You download all of these programs
I feel
that
like
will
I'm in
help
Twilight
you
Zone right
understand that are actual simulators. You go
If
online.
you want to tell Mike he's smoking crack, 856-485-9565. We'll get Elon Musk to boot up our computers.
You find a podcast. You find somebody who is an actual high-ranking person in that field in terms of understanding their stuff. You go on all these social media outlets. You find the proper people to follow. You find out what they do, how they get to learn what they do, and how they got to what they're doing. If they go college, guess what? They're going to give you all that information.
When you're a young person, you're developing, your mind's developing, your body's developing. I think K through 12 is very, very necessary, and I think
I'll give you K through 12.
You got to be and I think our K through 12 as a country should be better, and should also be more robust for the public.
They need to stop teaching the kids to be robots. They need to stop teaching the kids to fall in line. They need to stop. I don't even know if they do this anymore. God
Robots.
damn,
Some of
I'm
these
fucking,
kids don't even
goddamn,
go
I'm
to
fucking
school
old.
anymore.
I used to hate, and I did not participate in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
And so in the morning, what is it? Pledge allegiance to the flag. It's teaching conformity. It's teaching fall in line. It's teaching all this bullshit. What they got to teach in those schools.
Do the Juggalos have a national
They
anthem?
got to teach.
Did you sing that, you bitch?
They
You won't say your country's
They
flag.
got to teach actual things that the people need to know as adults, like money management and all that.
Well,
other
that's always
stuff.
been. But they used to have something like that. It used to be called home ec, and then what they did is, hey, let's cut the budgets. Gone. You know what I mean?
But
Oh, no more gym class? Bam.
I was
gone.
that motherfucker who would sit
Are you
there.
a communist, Mike?
They would stand
Close.
up and say, I pledge allegiance to the flag, and I would sit there and in my head go, I pledge allegiance to nothing.
Right. And Mike's like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. People are like, oh, look at him. He's so cute and he's special. No.
I'm not a communist. I'm a free thinker, and I don't agree with anybody telling you that you have to think one way or another, or saying that you have to.
How do you feel about instructions for a vacuum?
I don't feel like people should tell you that you have to blindly follow anything in this world.
How do you feel about instructions? Like when your instruction manuals, when you read them, they're telling you what to do.
Shut up.
How do you feel about that? Do you get pissed and not follow the instruction manual? Because I know you're a big whore for instruction manuals. I'm the guy that doesn't read it. Mike's like,
no, if you're giving me instructions to properly build something, then yes, that is not instructions.
this is Mike
on
looking at a
anything
Lego
else.
catalog. Don't fucking tell me what to do.
You're
Don't tell me what to do.
You're going a totally different direction.
Don't you dare tell me to put Lego 1 on 2.
But no.
All right, so with that said, sad news this week. I know everybody was. This was the marriage of everybody's eye, the apple of the eye. Bill and Melinda Gates are splitting up, apparently. Oh boy, what a shame. But what they're talking about is Bill and Melinda Gates are getting divorced. So are increasing numbers of older Americans. That's right. Some of your parents might be getting divorced out there thinking about it. They might be looking at each other and be like, I can't wait to get from this salty bitch. And your mom might be saying, I can't wait to get away from this disgusting motherfucker. Are you going to graduate yet? God damn it, so I can leave this place. So I think sometimes people stay together for the kids. That's less obvious than it is now, or less prevalent, I would say. But after 27 years of marriage, Bill and Melinda Gates are calling it quits. They're, by the way, Melinda, I am here if you need a boy toy. I'm looking for a sugar mama. I'm single right now. Just saying. I'll take the hit. And let's buy Toxic. I'm going to make Mike the janitor. It only costs $1,000. No, I'm just joking. All right, so Bill and Melinda Gates are calling it quits. Their high-profile split is emblematic of divorce trends in the United States as a whole. Increasingly married couples who break up are in the second half of life. Divorce among middle-aged and older adults is so popular now that researchers like me, have a term for it: gray divorce. You know what? My brother got divorced, and you know what I told him? He was upset, and I was like, dude, your kids are 15 and 17. There's a lot of guys out there right now that would give their left nut to be you. You're getting a whole second life. You know what? Fast forward, he's happy as fuck and has a girlfriend now. And he's getting laid more than he was before. Sounds like it's win-win for me. For him. That was weird. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm happy for him because he's my brother.
Laid more than ever, and you're happy. What's going on?
I'm happy for him. Hey,
What
at
do
least
you
I
do
don't
with your
eat
brother?
bugs.
You do a double Dutch rudders?
Ew. Double Dutch rudders. So anyway, divorce is boring, but it made me think, like, you know, when you're getting your 45, 50, you're like, this person blows. I don't need to take this bullshit anymore. The kids are gone. I'm out. I see a lot of people do that. So if you're around that age, better kiss that ass a little bit more. I don't know who's in that position, the he or the she or the he or the she. Who knows? Everybody gets sick or tired of anybody. I don't care what their gender is. But yeah, that brings me into another thing that I was thinking about. It got me thinking about family because I was talking about divorce. And, I'm hearing a lot of people complain about not being able to find workers. And I'm seeing it in various places like Facebook groups, online. They're saying they're willing to pay more money. Not all of them. And I think what this pandemic has brought, because we've talked about this before, but I don't think in this light. Stop me if I'm wrong here, Mike. But I think people are saying, fuck it. It's not worth it. I don't need all this shit. I don't need all this trouble. I don't need all this stress. And I think people got reset to enjoying their family, if they had one, enjoying themselves, finding themselves, being able to take a breather away from our hectic days that we had. Not everybody had that, I guess, privilege if you look at it that way, because a lot of us, including myself, had to work throughout it most of the time. I got about a month off. Some people got 5-6 months off. And, you know, I see people that just don't want it anymore. Me, I haven't really stopped, so it doesn't bother me. But I understand if you're an $8, $9 an hour worker, you have to take the bus to work, you're on unemployment, and they're like, yeah, we want you to come back to work. No, they don't want to make your shitty burger. And I don't blame them for that. You know, listen, they'll learn their lesson on their own. Maybe they'll have to go back to work. Maybe we'll inspire them to do something else. Maybe they'll have that time to do something else and develop one of their passions. I'm seeing a lot of people doing that. They're like, I'm going to follow my passion. I made a job change recently where I wanted to follow a passion. You know, I want to be a professional jelly bean eater. And Kuna Matata. But, no, part of that was I want to help out here more Toxic, develop my show more, do another show, you know, be part of that, you know, part of the team here, right? And you know, those were things that were important to me. And I do think a lot of people are in that headspace right now where do they want the stress that comes along with it, right? I think people are starting to figure out, like, wow, you know, because when you go from a job where you're at home all the time versus not at home and you're on the run, I swear you spend less money. You just do. So it's almost like you don't even need to make as much money. It feels like sometimes you're working a job to continue that lifestyle that actually isn't very necessary. I'm not saying don't work, but I'm saying if you have to spend X amount of dollars to get to work, you're eating out every day, morning, night, most of the time. A lot of people do takeout. I mean, what is the buy-in for people to come work for you? You know, one thing that people don't think about, you know, it might not have anything to do with money. Maybe, just maybe, they don't want to be treated like fucking shit. Right? Maybe people are not taking it anymore. Or maybe people saw how their employers treated them during this whole thing that went on. So I think a lot of people are taking stances. We used to always say, what would happen if people stopped showing up to work? Looks like we're there. And guess what? Some people want to work, and that's okay too. You're not wrong for that. I'm just saying that I'm not going to get mad at those people, because if you want people to come back, inspire them to come back. You have to be better. You know, and I know there's some small business owners out there that they're doing everything they can. They're making an honest buck. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, and they can't hire people. They're having trouble doing it. Okay. I say keep searching. There are people who want to work. I always see people that want a job. Keep searching. You know what I mean? Just keep searching. You know, I saw someone the other day. I'm not a big fan of eating stuff from McDonald's. It's just not my thing. Restaurants like it. But some people love it. And someone was complaining, like, you know, I can't believe it. I went up to the McDonald's drive-through window, and they said they had to close because they didn't have enough staff. And I said, maybe McDonald's should start paying more. You know, maybe people will show the fuck up. Because the truth of that matter is that a lot of people that work those jobs are undereducated, haven't had a lot of education. Maybe they don't want to be the best they could be at, you know, McDonald's, but they're trying to survive. They're making an honest living. So to them, I say, enjoy your time. Some of those people might not even had a vacation for years. And then people will go, oh, but they're spending all this money, this taxpayer money. Shut the fuck up. You are stupid if you say that. They spend almost $1 trillion every year on war. So I don't want to hear anything about that. All I know is I just think people are picking life over money. I mean, if they do, yeah, McDonald's won't pay more. But they've been saying they'll go automate it. But, you know, from a guy who did food delivery, what I found interesting is they had these big touch screens there during the pandemic. And you know what happened during the pandemic? They said you can't touch the touch screens because of COVID. So, and I've been hearing about that, but I don't know if I see right now a franchise owner buying a robot to serve burgers. Why do I say that? Because we're not talking about McDonald's. The franchise owner is going to buy that. Because remember, they're franchises, And I don't see a franchise owner paying how much it would cost for a robot right now. Maybe if robots became commonplace, like getting iRobot vacuum or something like that, or Roomba, but I don't think it's there yet technology-wise. And I don't know. We'll see. I don't really care because I don't eat McDonald's anyway. So, yeah, I think I'm better than you if you do. Sorry. I've had like 1 quarter pounder in 2 years. Should I feel bad for that? I don't think so. Jamie, you eat McDonald's, don't you? Do you?
He's making his hand go back and forth. He says he doesn't really.
You don't?
I miss McDonald's like a motherfucker.
Yep.
Every once in a while, it's got to be one of those mood things.
Which
I
one
gotta
do
be
you-
in a mood for it, you know.
I could see that. Which one do you what do you miss the most on the menu of McDonald's, Mike?
Just literally 2 things: Big Mac and just the regular old cheeseburgers.
Boiled cheeseburgers.
Oh my god, so fucking.
Double quarter pounder with cheese.
No, I never was a quarter pounder guy. If I wanted something like a quarter pounder, that's when I would just go to Burger King and get a Whopper.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Alex says necessity is a mother of invention, but I shave my head. There's been a necessity for hair growth pills that work, and that fucking necessity hasn't that hasn't popped its beautiful head. You know what I mean? I'm like,
now, I've been sorry to interrupt you. I've been hearing from business owners that have said a couple of things. One, they're going to pay more to get people in there, and then once unemployment runs out, where they can't go get the extra 300, they're going to be either cutting everybody's pay or just simply firing people and hiring new people. So it's going to be a weird situation going
I don't know if
forward.
that will happen because there's restaurant owners that are going to be scared about not having people when they do that. And then here's the thing about that if you're a busy place, you don't have fucking time to be hiring people every 5 seconds just because there's a couple of dollars cheaper. I mean, you know, if you're a waiter, you're not really worried about the hourly wage. You're making tips, right? Although Mike does believe that's a different story. We'll sidebar that issue.
Sidebar. Put it to the side. On that bar though that you put it to the side, don't put a tip there.
Yeah. Thank God for Laura. So, the penis enlargement with pills, right? Yeah, Brad says he's asking for a friend. Sure you are, buddy. So
they're in my drawer in my office.
Yeah. Jimmy I know his name's Jimmy Johnson. He used to make a pill called Extends. Hilarious that a guy with the last name Johnson was doing that. I mean, I just feel like people are changing. This has changed people for the worse and for the better in some parts. And I do understand that some people are saying, hey, it's not worth it. And I see people get mad that those people won't go there. I feel like when people get mad about that, it makes me feel uncomfortable. It makes me feel like you're talking about like you're paid for a slave or something like that. That's what it feels like. Like, how dare you not be there? Yeah. That's actually a picture of Mike's backpack. That's a close-up. You guys don't see that. If you see the My Little Pony logo in the background, it's definitely his. Yeah, well, I don't know. Woo! Rhino pills. Laura, you want to call in? 856-485-9565. Yeah, so, anyway. So, another thing I want to talk about. Twitter rolls out warning for offensive replies. Find this interesting. So let's see how everybody feels about this one. I've been saying myself, Facebook's been getting out of hand with what they want. I got in trouble for saying bastard the other day, calling peeps bastards. So yeah, Twitter is rolling out prompts that ask users to review their tweets before sending replies that are potentially harmful or offensive. The social media company said Wednesday in a blog post. I mean, is that bad? They're not preventing you, right?
All right.
I mean, maybe it's saying, hey, you might not want to say that.
I know that the Facebook and Twitter are both. I think no, more so Twitter. I read something about they're largely enforcing the fact that if you try to circumvent the banning method that they use, where they ban an account and then either try to create a new account or have others posting for you, that the people that are posting for you will be banned as well.
Really?
Yeah, that is due to
That's
Trump.
a thing?
That's due to Trump.
Oh, really?
Because Trump now he's got a new social media website, no app, website where you go there and he actually, all it is it's the ex-president now has a blog, basically website.
They
Where
can't make him an app. Like,
so they don't have an app. It's a website just for
you know
him.
how easy it is to make an app, like just a basic app.
I agree. I 100% agree. But so what happened is on the site, the way he's circumventing this is here it is. Give me one second. I'm gonna pull it up. I mean, we don't want to.
While you're pulling that up,
anyway.
take a guess here. When testing the feature, Twitter said blank % of people revised their initial response or decided not to send it at all after the prompt. What percentage do you think did that?
15.
Maybe
What? That's not a percentage, Mike.
15%.
34%.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, when he said 15, I figured he meant 15%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like everybody thought he meant percent.
Mike was
Exactly.
a cheater. Mike was a cheater in high school. He definitely looked into the kid's papers. And after being prompted once, people composed on average 11% fewer offensive replies in the future. So that means the other 23% were like, "No, I meant fuck you and fuck you."
So this is his new site. This is his own personal. I look at it as a blog, but this is the way he's going around social media. But with every post he makes, he puts over on the right the ability to tweet out what he's putting there. See, just like with any other
Mike's
site.
about to get banned.
I know, I'm not posting it. But you see how he's trying to circumvent the fact that he can't post on there by
Yeah,
having
Facebook just
others
upheld their ban on him too.
share what he's putting up. So that's what's going on there. So now Twitter's like, oh, motherfucker, you're trying to be able to put out your rhetoric when we said you're not allowed to anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still on the fence about, I don't know if you should really try to silence someone, because sometimes I think it empowers them when you do that. It makes it kind of provocative that you're not letting people listen to them. But at the same time, it's tough as a business. They're getting pressure. I don't know where to go on that. People, they say it's restricting freedom of speech, but if you look at the exact definition, it says when the government restricts your freedom of speech, which they are not the government. So
I love these motherfuckers nonstop nowadays.
But they're saying
that say you're restricting my freedom of speech.
They're saying it metaphorically, though.
No, but there's a lot of people out there that take that as the non-educated. They're the people that don't understand how the freedom of speech or freedom to do this works. Which, like right now, with this whole idea that companies are going to require you to have your vaccination card, but what people don't understand is they're like, well, that's against freedom of this and freedom of that. And it's like, no, they are a private company. If somebody says, if you do not have this, you cannot enter my store.
And keep that in mind, since all y'all want to say that unions suck. That's why.
The company is 100% allowed to. An airliner, a Walmart, any company, if you show up and they say you have to show this in order to shop in our store, they could turn you away. And all you got to, then it's your decision if you want to go to another store. Any store can turn you away for any reason that they deem a reason that you're not allowed to come in, just like with masks.
Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that, but with this, it's a private company, right? But here's my thing with that's different with social media versus that other example, specifically Facebook. The reason why I think it's a little dicier for Facebook is because you are the product. They make money off you by existing on Facebook. So therefore,
you don't pay for the product, you are the product.
Correct. But at the same time, they're gaining monetary value from your presence. So should there be a back and forth there? I don't know. I mean, listen, Facebook took money from the Trump campaign team, and there's pictures. They worked with them. They didn't invade. They didn't take over. They took their money. Then they decided not to. But my point is they were complicit in it. They helped set the fire. Now they want to put the fire out.
But at the same token, did they help in regards to that they are a company, and as a company, they take other businesses' money for advertising purposes, and with social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram being the biggest outlets in terms of ad revenue and being able to put out ads to reach the most people, any campaign out there is going to utilize those social media outlets to push whatever
well,
whatever story they want to push, and that was a part of it.
This is another story
I mean,
This is another story.
Facebook can't just push them aside and say, no, we're not accepting your
but
money
here's the thing.
to do an ad.
This is another story of greed. And this is for Twitter. This is for Facebook. This is for Instagram. You could have said from the start, you know what? Let's keep politics off these platforms and set that precedent. But you broke that precedent. And now this is what muddied the waters, right? Because you could have stayed away from that argument with like, well, you're showing preference to this side. You're showing preference to that side. You could have said like, you know what? No side gets in. And therefore it exists because I know that most people call Facebook, Boomer City. I hate that my show's on there, but, it is what it is. And the reason why is because the only people that are really left are people that I think are like 29, 30 and up on Facebook, in my opinion. My younger relatives, nieces and nephews that are much younger than that, they use Instagram or Snapchat, and some do Twitter.
TikTok,
yep, forgot. Fuck Twitter. Twitter's gone too. TikTok, Snapchat, and Instagram. Smartly, and this is the thing where the greed comes in. I know Facebook saw this coming. That's why they bought Instagram. I mean, I'm not saying that's what they bought, but it worked out for them, right? And they bought WhatsApp, so there is kind of a monopoly going on there, right? Of, if that's the way you talk. And I can see the other side of the argument for saying having to rein them in because, they regulated electricity. Why is that? You need electricity to exist. So you can't just go gouging people anymore because you just become a fucking public utility. And if commerce is going to be on there, speech is going to be on there, TV, if they have their way, is going to be on there. There's going to be a regulation coming, whether people like it or not. But to me, if you kept certain things off there and didn't look at the monetary value, well, guess what? You wouldn't be in this fucking situation in the first place because they did take ad time from them. I mean, some of those ads, and this is the thing that upsets me about Facebook is where people are the product, they would give them your data. Okay, and they would do targeted ads. And when I say they, it's not just Trump; it's other people as well. He's not the only one. And they would see what you don't like or you do like, what you look into. Like say for an example, Brexit's a perfect example. If you guys don't know what that is, they're leaving the European Union. They made it all about immigrants. For some reason, they were soaking up all the assets and all that, and they found out for that not to be true. And it's screwing a lot of people over there that are workers. Or they might have significant others that are in other parts of Europe, but they did it because they targeted people with saying like, I remember seeing one ad like, there's 400,000 people at the border or 100,000 immigrants coming in. Are you wondering about that? Like, and they stoke people's fears. That's just one instance. So I don't know, man. It's like you're gonna take the money, but then you don't like the result. I don't know. Brad still wants to know about the penis enlargement pills. So, Brad, gotta do your show prep on that. So, Brad, we'll have Mike take some. He's got those rhino pills in his brony backpack, so we're gonna have him test them out. He's gonna take. Yep. Whew. Say a prayer for Laura. So, I don't even pray. Anyway, that being said, my friends, we have that's a debate that's up for debate still. But there's another ant in here, dude. This is like you better check in here after this show because there's like 90 ants. I swear to God, someone must have ate like a caramel apple and like rubbed it on the floor with their ass or something. Or we're finding out that our new place has an ant problem. I can't wait to talk to the landlord. So, just kidding. There's no ant problem, but I feel like there is because it's the fourth one that crawled on me. You tell me how good you feel when you're being on air when there's little tiny bug legs rolling getting on your fucking arm and shit like that. You tell me how awesome that is. Like, oh, there's something tickling my arm that has tentacles. That's great.
Just save them and Mike will eat them later.
Yeah, he will. Godfrey for your show prep. It's true. So, yeah, ants do suck. You ever get stung by a fire ant? You ever step in fire ants? Never. I don't know if they're around here. I think they are. I lived in Vegas for a brief time with my father, and I didn't know what they were. And there was an ant problem, and there was the ants that showed up in the kitchen, and I didn't see them. And they started to crawl up your arm, and they sting you, and it fucking hurts. As a kid, you're like, ah! You never had a fire? You never been stung by a fire ant?
No.
Wow.
Weirdo.
Yeah, I'm weird. You're gonna eat one. How am I weird?
That's for substance and protein.
Yeah. Nice. So, speaking of protein, we got a 240-pound fish that Mike's going to eat. No, I'm just joking. We'll end on this one. Weird, interesting story. Animals. I love them. Mike loves them. Hakuna Matata. He likes to eat pork ass. So, you like bacon, right, Mike?
Sure.
Nah, fuck that story. I don't want to talk about a 240-pound fish.
I mean, you got 2 minutes. You got a whole nother
Weren't you
story?
singing earlier? I mean, I could go in a whole nother story. You were singing. I could. So, look at this. You want to talk about an unusual hitchhiker in the woods that was pooping on people's lawns? Actually, you know what I want to talk about? I know what I want to talk about. We got a couple minutes. And Laura, thank you for reminding me of this. So, people said May the 4th be with you the other day. I think that's kind of what, I love Star Wars, but I think it's so corny. May the 4th be with you. Ha, ha, ha. Anyway, whatever. Preening. Do you guys know what that is? That is where you take your butt cheeks and put them toward the sun, spread them, and it's about getting vitamins and nutrients through your butthole. I'm not joking. This
I
is the
wouldn't
thing.
knock it until I've tried it.
That means you're going to try it.
All right.
So that means when I saw
not?
Laura share that post, she was sharing that because she's like, oh, Mike, this looks like something we could do on a Sunday afternoon.
Why not? Why wouldn't you do that? What's going to stop you?
It's called Preening. So Pernium. P-E-R-I-N-E-U-M. Is that how we say that?
Sure. I have no idea. I've never heard of the what it's called.
So I'm going to tell you what it is right now, and then we'll end on this because you guys really need to know about this. So here's why doctors definitely don't want you to try it. I think he went to college for that. From sitting over on a pot of boiling water to steaming the vagina to sticking jaded eggs, where wellness trends evolving the genitals don't seem the one to die. Now there's another one to add to the list, preening and sunning. Yes, you heard that right. In recent months, there it is right there. Holy shit. I mean, I thought that was my ex-girlfriend for a second. I had to look closer at the tattoos. But, man. So, yeah, that's what it is. So, basically, I'm going to tell you what it is. It's in a mere 30 seconds of sunlight on your butthole, emphasize butthole, you will receive more energy from the electric node than you would in an entire day of being outside with your clothes on, he said in the video. So what we have to do in the morning, folks, to fight COVID is go out in the morning, spread our leg. Mike, show them the picture again so they know how to properly do this. Bring this up again for me, please. This is an important thing. This is about vitamin D, guys. Remember, everybody said vitamin D and it makes it go away. That's not yoga. They're getting energy through their butthole. So, yeah, it's like Galactus for buttholes. My comic fans know who that is. So, in a mere 30 seconds, you put it on your butthole and you get a lot of energy. So, there's plenty of videos of people doing it. And would you try that, Mike?
Absolutely.
Wow. They can't. So, there's a reason why I brought this up. I believe the guy who played Thanos tried this. You can look it up. I forget his name. And he burned his butthole. That's right. Sunburn on the butthole. So, then came another backside sun worshiper who shared a photo of herself preening and sunning in late October. So, yeah, according to Megan, the benefits of preening, I gotta learn how to pronounce this word. I'm gonna kill myself. Preening and sunning are extensive. She says it strengthens the organs. Wow. Sustains health and longevity. Aids in a healthy libido and balanced sexual energy, and can promote better sleep, among other things. It sounds like that gummy pill that they advertise on Facebook that does fucking everything for you. My experience with preening and sunning has been profound, she claims. I have been practicing this for a few months now, and I start my day with 5 minutes of preening and sunning, and I feel energized for hours. I no longer rely on coffee for energy to start my day because I'm getting my energy from the sun. Let me ask you a question. If that was true, how come the homeless guy in Philadelphia I see doing that every day isn't energetic as fuck? He's asleep in the middle of the road. I don't see him doing,
Because he's got a dirty butthole that's blocking all the sun.
Oh, you think that's what it is? It's got to be clean, huh? Well, you're gonna have a lot of work to do before you get to try it. So, I'm experiencing better sleep and require less sleep due to boost of overall energy. Okay. So, can it be safe? And then just a super quick clarification, your perineum is the super thin area of skin and tissue between your vagina, or in men, the penis, and the anus, otherwise known as the taint. And no, you definitely shouldn't be exposing it to sunlight, according to those with actual medical degrees, right? As a medical degree earned in college. As a dermatologist, I cannot recommend any sun exposure without sun protection, the MD says. Laser surgery and cosmetic dermatology center he's from, he says, tellshealth.com. These areas are just like other areas of the body that do need some protection, and clothes tend to prove that. So underwear has more than one, it does more than hold in the funk, I guess, huh? So the skin is particularly sensitive. Over time, it can result in an increased risk of skin cancer. Imagine having to explain to someone you got skin cancer because of your butthole. Mike keeps giving me the swirly, like he wants to sit on a finger or something like that. But with that being said, imagine that you have to break it to your significant other, like, I've been secretly sunning my butthole, and I'm going through butthole cancer right now, and I need you to be very supportive of this. I need you to rub cream on it. And with that, folks, we're gonna wrap things up. Thank you for listening. Thank you for getting in. Brad, thank you for being late. Just kidding. And everybody, as I say every week, I appreciate your time. Sharing is caring. Taking it deep with the Godfrey. Not saying goodbye, just saying take it deep.